it's GameCube Index, and I really hope you brought some friends. The Gauntlet series has a deep and beloved past, starting with the original game released in arcades in 1985 and continuing through 9 installments, including the latest remake in 2014. The dearest one to my heart, however, is also the only one that was ported to the GameCube. That is, Gauntlet Dark Legacy. Originally released in the year 2000, Dark Legacy was the final Gauntlet title to appear in arcades and was an expansion to 1998's Gauntlet Legends. Set in medieval times, the story follows the events after evil mage Garm uses the power of the runestones and unleashes evil upon the land. This evil is manifested as a demon named Scorn, who breaks free of Garm's control, imprisoning his soul in the underworld and releasing minions into the land. He then scatters the runestones across the 8 realms so that none can assemble them and use them against him. Garm's older brother, King Sumner, tasks you with restoring the world. The starting playable characters are a wizard, valkyrie, archer, warrior, knight, sorceress, dwarf, or jester, the latter 4 being entirely new classes in Dark Legacy. There are also 9 unlockable characters, which are jackal, medusa, unicorn, falconess, minotaur, ogre, tigress, hyena, and ultimately King Sumner himself. Gameplay is hack and slash based, with a heavy and light attack being your primary offense. Blocking is an option, as well as using one-use spells, which can be found scattered across levels or purchased from the menu screen in between stages. The main hub of the game is set in King Sumner's Tower, which has portals that lead to each of the 8 realms. Each realm includes multiple levels to explore and fight through, culminating in a boss fight at the end. Realms are unlocked based on crystals you obtain while traversing levels, and scattered throughout are various weapons, spells, potions, buffs, and traps. While the levels are fairly straightforward, getting the most collectibles as possible does require minimal backtracking. Now, being an arcade title, multiplayer is a huge part of this game. While it can be completed solo in its entirety, it's much easier with a pal tagging along. With the large variety of playstyles available due to the different character options, it's a huge bonus to have multiple players. There's no split screen, so everyone plays on the same screen and the camera just zooms out accordingly, until someone eventually hits an invisible wall and needs to stick closer to the other players. Personally, I prefer this style of gameplay, but I understand why it might turn off some others who desire a split screen presentation. Gauntlet Dark Legacy nails it when it comes to level design. It's tailored to the hack and slash gameplay style, allowing you to force your way through to the end, hopefully avoiding death by breaking open barrels and chests along the way. And the music complements the settings incredibly well, so shout out to sound designer Joe Lyford. You did great. Graphically, the game looks a bit rough, especially when it comes to character models. This should be expected. The game is a slightly enhanced arcade port, and we know from history that those rarely look good. The hang up here is that it's assumed the title is light in the graphics department due to the amount of enemies that can be seen on screen, in addition to spells and weapons in an effort to keep resources low and provide a smoother experience. This unfortunately, though, isn't the case, and the game frequently suffers from slowdown due to everything that's going on. This was especially frustrating when encountering stronger enemies such as dragons or death, and being unable to get away to some health items because my character isn't moving because I'm being attacked by 3 enemies. Gauntlet Dark Legacy was the only Gauntlet title on the GameCube. The series received another title, Gauntlet 7 Sorrows, in 2005 for PS2, Xbox, and Xbox 360, and the original arcade title got a reboot in 2014 as Gauntlet. A Nintendo DS title was in development at one time, but ultimately canceled in 2008. I had a ton of fun with Gauntlet Dark Legacy back in 2002, and I had fun with it again today. For fans of hack and slash or dungeon-based multiplayer, it's still a great choice with minimal faults, and I'd still recommend it to anyone. That is it for this week's episode of GameCube Index. If you enjoy the videos every week, consider backing us on Patreon. Even $1 a month will do a lot to support the project and help improve the experience. It's entirely up to you. Either way, please continue to show your support by subscribing, sharing, following along on Twitter at GCNdex and at GCNdex.com. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in next time when we listen to Saliva for some reason.